Hi rock stars, this is Beth Azor. I wrote a book called the Retail Leasing Playbook. This podcast will go over a few chapters each week to discuss the highlights of how you can lower your vacancy and increase your occupancy. I hope you enjoy it. We are on the last chapter of my book, chapter 69, the title being When the Nationals Say No. What do you do when the Nationals say no? So in my book, I say that it's not necessary to follow up in 6 months unless circumstances change. I'm not sure if I agree with that today. I think that you probably should follow up at least every 6 months, respectively, right? Respectfully, but look for things like that might change. For example, a lot of times retailers these days are changing their footprints. Burlington itself went from 80 to 60 to 40 to now I think 20 or 25. So if you are reading up on the market, you will know if circumstances have changed. If a uniform store has told you no 13 times and now a hospital has decided to open up across the street from your property, I'd call that uniform store back. Another thing that would be great if you can is ask the retailer why they are not interested in your property. I had a situation where I had a property and I thought it would be perfect for this national mattress store. And I sent it to them and they said no. And then I said, could you give me some feedback? And he said, your visibility isn't good enough, which I thought was a little weird because my property was right up on a street with 75,000 cars. I went to the property, I took a video standing on the street and then did like a 360 showing them how great the visibility was. They still turned the site down. 3 months later, the day after I signed a lease with Aspen Dental, they called wanting information on the site. I was very upset about that because I would have much preferred doing the mattress store without the expense of the Aspen Dental's TI. But, you live and learn. I had reached out multiple times to them and thought I had done everything I could, but I didn't, and I lost out on that deal. Now Aspen Dental is in and open. They're doing great, and probably much better credit than the mattress. So everything happens for a reason. But it's always a good question if you have the opportunity. You may reach back out and say, why wouldn't this site work? And they might not respond, and because they're so busy, right? They get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. So, but that would be my advice to you on if they say no, be respectful, watch for things that could change to make them change their mind, follow up, and then if you can ask, why doesn't the site work for them? I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. I hope you have enjoyed the book and all of my cliff notes on all of the chapters. Keep being as awesome as you are. Canvas. Don't send email blasts, and be rock stars always. Happy leasing. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. I hope you learned a few nuggets to help increase occupancy and lower vacancy. See you next week, where we'll go over a few more chapters of my book, The Retail Leasing Playbook.